I'm Julia from Jooya Teaching Resources, and tonight I'm going to share with you a brand new freebie that if you haven't already got one, I'm going to show you how you can actually get it. And also I'm going to show you what you can do with it. There's no point giving you a freebie unless you've got some ideas and something, because it's got to be something useful. Okay, so I'm talking about the concepts of music this month and into next month because, again, as I've said before, my students, that's what I teach in my state, and I'm talking about the concepts of music. And I'm actually going to point them in this direction myself, and I'm going to actually ask them to come and watch the videos for them for a bit of revision. They need a bit of help themselves, and it's just a good way for them to actually get some more information about what they can, how they can learn about the concepts of music. And as I said, I'm starting with pitch today. So this freebie, and I haven't got that there. Where is it? I haven't got the front page. Okay. I thought I just had it. Sorry. Going crazy anyway. But anyway, I will show you in a moment, but it's a free resource. So in the resource, in the freebie, which if you go to my juliajooya.com/teachable site, you're going to find, and I'll share the link in a minute, but you will find two things there. Now, one is about to close if I can work out how to do it. And the other one is a free course. And literally, when I say course, it literally is just a space for this actual freebie to be. But I might even put some of these videos actually in there as well, because I'll be putting them, they're obviously here and on YouTube. So you might be watching on YouTube. So hi, if you are. If not, you might be watching them in the course. But just some ideas on how you can actually use this freebie. So what I might do first is I will show you I'll talk about what you've actually got, what I've got for you and what's in the freebie and what it looks like, and about pitch today. And then I'll come back and I'll show you what some of them look like printed. I was literally printing stuff today because I need to actually, laminate it myself so I can put it up in my classroom on Thursday, because we have our swimming carnival tomorrow. So I will do the famous last word of share the screen and go here. Slideshow, come on, from beginning. All right, so I know I titled this 3 ways to learn about pitch, about what is pitch and music, but I think it actually ended up being some more. So I'm going to have to change that number, but it ended up being some more. But, you know, there's a bonus for you. So as a welcome, I'll look very briefly at the 6 concepts of music. I'll give you a very brief definition of them. We're going to look a little bit closer at pitch today. So I'll give you some lesson ideas of what you can do with pitch, how I use these resources personally myself with my own students, and how you could use them with your kids, or if you're a student, how you could use it to actually use as a study aid in class, or when you're studying for, whether it be, well, usually most people here are for the HSC music course. Alrighty, so the concepts of music are, in alphabetical order: duration, dynamics and expressive techniques, pitch, which is what we're talking about today, structure, texture, and tone color. Now, I am one of those weird people that likes to color code things. And for me, pitch is always pink. Don't ask me why, it just always is. And so whenever I print anything out, it's pink. So when you see anything to do with pitch or melody for me in my store, you'll notice that it's pink. And it's because I think of it as being pink. But pitch is, as I said, it's part of the 6 concepts of music. And sorry about that, there's a train going past. Don't you love it? So pitch, all it means is the height or depth of sound. So that is a very simple definition of what is pitch, but the concept of pitch encompasses so many different things. And if you're writing about the HSC music in the music exam and you're writing about pitch, sometimes it's hard to know what to actually include in your response. And that's where what I'm about to share with you should help you get you on your way. So here is the freebie. Here's what it looks like as the cover and the printing. Now, you'll probably notice that it looks a bit like my other concepts of music things. That's it's purposeful. I've designed it specifically like that. But so I know I talk about my, music analysis and writing about music. These are a mind maps freebie, but there's also some posters in there. So if you want to grab yours today, if you go there to juliajooya.teachable.com, even if you don't do the next bit, but juliajooya.teachable.com, and then you'll see on the page, the courses, that there's one there that says Master the Concepts of Music. And if you put your details in, you'll be able to get this free resource. And I think it's 25 pages. Like, it's not like little, and it's very useful. I said I use it all the time. So here is the poster, and I might actually, no, I will show you later. I was going to do that. But this is things. So just to tell you a little story. For me, when I was teaching, started teaching the HSC music course many years ago, and I had a student that was really, really struggling. And pitch is where I started. We were doing some revision for the actual HSC exam. And we were trying really hard. There was the whole class, and this poor student, she was really struggling to get what she needed to write in a response. And anyway, we'd come up with an answer, and we'd put it all on the board, and they were writing it and contributing, and like every good class does. And anyway, at the end of the lesson, I stepped back and I looked at the board and I went, that actually, I could use that to spell a word. And the word was morph. Melody, ornamentation, range register roll or range roll register, phrasing and harmony. And that is where this is all this stuff that I do has actually started from pitch. Okay, it's one of those things. And that is honestly, it's got my kids, that simple thing there, that little poster, that simple morph has got my kids through the exams. So, countless times. I don't know how many times. But as I said, from there, I was able to develop, and I kept on tweaking and finding different ways to actually talk about all the concepts. But we're just focusing on pitch today. So the thing is about this, now it is printed A3. The actual document is, sorry, not A3, A4, which is your standard document. Now, what I was doing today, and I said I'll show you later, I literally changed my paper thingy on the printer to A3, which is double A4, it's twice the size, and then set the printer settings to fit to size, so it made it bigger. But if you're photocopying and you're going from A4 to A3, it's 141% is the enlargement. Just a quick hint there. Alrighty, but this is the way you're going to use it. And I said, I've literally printed these off this morning myself so I could bring them home, laminate them, and I'll put them up in my classroom when I get back to school on Thursday. So print them as an A3 size, that's the biggest size, poster size, and use as a display for reference. So if you were studying at home, you might want to actually only make them A4 size because you can put them around your walls. Depends on how much space you've got, okay? But you can put them around your room, and there you've got your concepts of music because there's a poster for each of the concepts. If you print them smaller, so A4 is your standard size, A3 is sort of a bit bigger. Well, it's a bit hard to see there, but it's bigger. A5 is half of an A4. Right, so if you print it that size, it's a really good size to put in it as a study reference in your books. Okay, if your exercise books are about this size, okay, when you print it A5, which is that size, it fits really nicely on the page. Okay, even though I can't make that straight. Okay, you can see that. So you can see that it fits really nicely on the page as a nice reference there, okay, if you're using that sort of size. Obviously, if you've got a bigger exercise book, you can make it, print it bigger. But that's a really good way to use it. Another way is if you make it smaller and you print it to A6 size, which really means, so A3 is making it, doubling it, A4 is the size, A5 is making 2 to a page, and A6 is making 4 to a page. Now, if you make it 4 to a page, you can do these little thingies, which again, I'll show you a bit more in a moment. But the thing is, when you do this, and if I show you pitch, where I find it, okay, it's a little poster. That's the little poster. What you can see on the screen there is what's here. And as I said, and it's a really nice handy reference size for, you can easily transport that one. And as I said, that's laminated and ready to use. So that is probably the most common way that I actually use these posters, is something like that, actually small. So the kids can actually hold it, they put them in the bag. It's nice and easy to use, okay? So that's one way to use the poster. So 3 different ways. I mean, you can use it as a poster, you can glue it into a book and use it as a reference, or you can make it smaller and again, use it as a reference, but as a nice little handy guide one. All right, and then the mind maps, I love a good mind map. Okay, now this is deliberately blank, and I'll talk about I'll show you my website later, which you can actually do and use that. So again, different ways that you can use the mind map. You can use them, if you print it bigger, alrighty, you can use as a poster for display, but you'd obviously want to put in on the mind map what you need to actually put in there, okay? If you print A5, which is 2 to a page, again, it fits into an exercise book really nicely, that sort of size. And then again, it's really nice to write around, okay? Now, the thing is with this, you could use it for individual work if you're doing a listening exercise, okay? Do it as a way to start the listening activity off and do it as an individual. Or if you make them bigger and have kids, sitting around these posters or these mind maps, they work together and can come up with a listening map and then develop their own actual response after they've actually come up with some ideas on the page. It's just a good way to put them on the page. Again, it's just fantastic for planning, okay, and getting ideas out really quickly. So you can see here, the other ways I like to think about it is not only just for listening, and this is where the best way for teaching the concepts of music or learning the concepts of music is to apply it to what you are doing all the time. So make sure that you're not only using it just for listening, but also about connect it to what are you playing? What instrument are you playing? So if you're a bit hard as a drummer to use pitch, but they still have to understand it. But if you're a guitarist, how are you using pitch? What part of who's performing the melody? What's the range of the melody? Who's performing what roles in the thing? What are the registers? Are you performing in the treble or in the bass? Okay. How is the harmony being used? How is it being played? Is it played block chords? Is it an arpeggio? Is it strumming? You get what I'm talking about. There's different ways. Think about what you're actually performing. And one of the things is once you've got the ideas and you've written it down, you might go, oh, that's a bit boring. That might be why my performance isn't that great. I could do this. Really simple. Okay. And I'll have some examples of that with another concept next week. I said, I've literally only just got back into the classroom yesterday, and so I haven't got any examples because we haven't had a chance. I've been trying to make some music. But another way you can use it is obviously not only for listening but for performance, but also for composition. So if you're creating a composition, it's really good to have an understanding of how you are using the concepts of music. And again, if you put on this on your composition planning map just for pitch, for example, and hasn't got a lot, you might go, oh, I might need to add something there. It might be the way that I'm playing the harmony is actually like, how are those chords being played? Oh, it's actually not that exciting. I might need to do something there, or I might need to swap the roles of the instruments. Okay, what's playing the melody, what's playing the harmony, what's playing melodic accompaniment. You think about those sorts of things. How can you actually do all that, and how can you actually swap it around? Again, it's just a really good tool to actually use for so many things. So listening map, a performance map, a composition map, fantastic planning, but also as a reflection tool. Like you could actually do it as a planning thing, but you could also use it as a reflection tool. Oh my goodness, I'm giving you so many different ways to use these things, and I'm well and truly past the 3 ideas. I think I'm up to about 7 or 8 now, which is fantastic. So great way to use this free resource. So this particular mind map here actually comes from, with it all complete, comes from the concepts of music mind maps that I have available in my store. If you go to Teachers Pay Teachers, you'll find them there. And these are the concepts of music mind maps. I also have the elements of music, but these are the concept ones. Now, these are perfect for as a teacher. Now, if you want to actually get your kids using and understanding, this is a really good thing to actually use as a display. Again, you could actually have it printed out bigger and use it as a display in the classroom. Really helps the kids understand what they're going. But the whole idea is that but both the poster and the mind map work together. They're not meant to be in isolation. You can actually, they should bounce off each other. So you can see here. So what I mean is, now you can see this is it printed out. So you can see that you've got the mind map and the poster part that's printed at A4 size. Then you can see there's a smaller print and then a smaller print, and again of the mind map as well. But with pitch, melody, ornamentation, range, roll, register, phrasing, harmony, that's the things that you're using. That's the things you're talking about. This is the way they're supposed to gel together. Now, you can see on the previous page, I've actually got pitch down the bottom here, but for me, it's morph, melody, ornamentation, range, register, roll, phrasing, and harmony. Okay, it doesn't have to, like those R's don't have to be in that order. It depends on how you like to say it. I normally get them to do the roll, the instruments first, and then the range and register of the melody. Okay, so that's how I teach it in class. But again, you can use, don't forget, you can use these pitch mind maps as a poster or as a mind map, and for so many different ways in the classroom. Okay, don't know why my phone was going off. I hope I'm going on the right page. I better be. Oh, well. Concepts of music freebie. So as you can see here, again, this is printed a few different ways. So you can see the actual posters. These are all the ones you're getting. So there's duration, dynamics, and expressive techniques, pitch, structure, texture, tone, color, other questions, which is when you're actually looking at all sorts of ways to do it. And then also my music scaffold, which is main idea, understanding, samples, in-depth information, and connect to concept or question. And you can see there also the actually how I've printed it and used it as a little manipulative resource for the kids. Okay. So if you'd like to get a free copy of the Concepts in Music download, you need to go to jooya.teachable.com. Now, all that last bit, you can obviously use that. It is in the Facebook page down below, but you'll be able to find it. If you simply just go to jooya.teachable.com, you'll find it. Okay, the free download for you. It says course, but as I said, just put your information in there and you get access to the course straight away because it's free. Gotta love it. It's free. Don't forget, there's also stacks and stacks of stuff over in my Teachers Pay Teachers store. So again, you can use the link in the description to go and have a look at my store to grab some other things because I've got stacks there for you. Obviously, this freebie is fantastic, but there's lots of other wonderful resources as well. And I'm going to talk to you and show you my blog in a moment because there's other ways you can actually use those things. Oh, I should say pitch. I'm sorry. But you can find more information about all this on my blog, which is jooya.com. And thank you for watching. So I will just escape and get out of there. And I will show you. So what I mean is, so here, whoops. So here's the poster, and I'll have to move back a bit, quite big. All right, so you can see that's quite big. When you look at me next to it, that's a big thing, but it's a fantastic display in the classroom. So the pitch, it's got pitch there as well, and melody, ornamentation, range, register, roll, phrasing, and harmony. So that is a really good thing to remind kids what they need to be talking about. And sorry, that's got dynamics and expressive techniques behind it. So that's printing it big. So you can print it that size, or if you wanted to print it smaller, which is, sorry, in here. So this is the actual resource. I just haven't bound it. I ran out of time today to do all those sorts of things. Here we go. Can you see? One more page. We'll go. There's pitch there at the A4 size. Okay, so that's the A4 size, just normal sort of size. Again, depending on the space in your room, you might only have to print it off at that size. But you can obviously go smaller. Okay, but wait, there's more and even smaller. Now, this is how I really like to use them. So if you haven't bought my, what do you call them, the oral question cards, which are available in my shop, and they're only like $7.50. They're really cheap, which has a lot more detail than what's here. This is just a good reference point. So if you wanted to be studying, this is just a good way to sort of study and get some things going. But my other question cards have a lot more in them. But here's the thing. So what I have done, as you can see, that they're quite small. And then on the other side, I've done the actual mind map small on the other side. So then like there's structure, and then there's the structure mind map, okay, and all of them. And then I've also put on there, so I've just laminated them and put a hole in the corner and a split ring. Okay, and that's just the music framework for writing a response, which really, really helps when you've got that. So you've got to have all this sort of stuff done, but that will help you actually get an even better answer. So that is the thing. So that is one way to, that's another way to use it. So make it as a big poster for display, or make them really small and use them as something as a reference point for when you're studying. Okay, and you've got a pitch question. Okay, what do I got to do? What do I got to do? I go to pitch. Okay, melody, ornamentation, and it's meant to be just a reminder of what you should be talking about in the actual question. All right, so melody, ornamentation, range, roll, register, phrasing, and harmony. That's what you should be talking about. Now, I want to obviously you can make the everything bigger if you want to make them more like that, but I want to share my screen again, and I'm going to go to where'd it go? Okay, hang on, I know where it's gone. It's hiding. I want to go save. Yes, thank you. Sorry, All right, here we go. It helps if I have the right screen up behind it in the first place. All right, share screen, and here we go. All right, so this is my blog. Oh, look, there's me already. So the thing is, this is the home page. So when you get here, now if you scroll all the way down the bottom, now I know it says elements of music, but if you go to this blog post, this is like the command central. You start here and you can end up everywhere. Now, this talks about all of the elements of music. Remember, elements of music and concepts of music cross over. But at the bottom, I've given you a very brief description of the concepts of music. So depending on where you are in the world, some people use the concepts of music. And if you are studying these terms, below is a brief definition. So duration, okay, as I've said there, is the same as rhythm. So you just look at the rhythm stuff. Dynamics and expressive techniques, we're talking about dynamics, and expressive techniques come into other things. That's a bit more complicated, but pitch, how high and low a sound is. Under the umbrella of this concept of music are the musical elements of harmony, melody, and tonality. So if you're looking for more information just on pitch, come here and then you can actually look at those things. So if I go to, let me just go to melody for a start. And if you wanted to know what is ornamentation, what is range, roll, register, what is phrasing, what is harmony, guess what? Everything's here for you, because not only are the mind maps here, and I don't know why that one, but I talk about what is the instrument of the voice, melodic contour, melodic motion, register of the melody, range of the melody, phrasing, articulation, ornamentation, they come in together, okay, and why it's important. And then if you want to look, like obviously talk about harmony, go and have a look at the harmony page. So let's have a look there. So if we go to harmony, oh, it must be up higher because I did go in alphabetical. And harmony, now this is really broken down quite extensively here, but again, harmony, alrighty, and we're talking about chords, harmonic rate of change, okay, we're talking about the harmonic roll, cadences, key signatures, overall sound, modulation. Don't you hate it when videos don't do that? And why is harmony important in music? Now, the other thing is, and I should have shown you at the page, here is me talking about all these videos, all right, and what's in these things. So I'm explaining it for you. So if you're not sure, come here, have a listen, break it down, take notes, and do what you need to do. Alrighty, so I'm going to stop share for a moment again. Okay, and I just want to recap. So you can go and get yourself a fantastic freebie. Alrighty, which is over at my jooya.com teachable page. Okay, and there's, as I said, it's Master the Concepts of Music, I think I've called it. And there you can get this 25-page free download. And don't forget, there's all the posters for all the concepts, as well as mind maps for all the concepts. Okay, and then you can use them in so many different ways, which I've explained here tonight. So some of the best ways for the posters are display, okay, to use as a way to remind yourself in your exercise book, or to print them really little and make a little thingy like this, okay, like a cards, I don't know what you want to call them. I really need to come up with a better name, because my kids, when the ones we have, we call them the rainbow cards. They do, because they're colourful. Some kid decided that's what it was. And then for mind maps, you can use the mind maps in so many ways. Okay, you can use them as part of a listening map. You can use them as, like if you're planning a listening response, planning a composition, or planning your performance. You can then also look at them as part of a reflection tool. Again, reflection for your performance. How is pitch used in your performance? How is pitch used in your composition? A reflection. And then also you could use it for a listening map as well, for a reflection. Probably not as easy to do it, that one, but don't forget those mind maps. If you want to work on your own, fantastic, but if you want to work as a group, okay, that's even better, because more minds onto it, and the music and listening. And you know, the thing is about this, especially the mind map, any piece of music you listen to, you can use this mind map. Any piece of music you're listening to, and if you have to talk about pitch, you can refer to this, and that's what's so valuable. And this is free for you guys. Okay, it's free. It's free. So make sure you go and grab yourself one. Okay, and make sure you do. So that's all that I have for you tonight. So I'm just going to quickly say goodbye here before, and I will end the recording. So I'm Julia from Jooya Teaching Resources, and thank you so much for watching.